So with the upcoming cutoffs, I'm going to have to do a lot of cutoffs. With the long pieces of plywood that'll be too twisty and turny to try to get through the table saw straight and stable, I am going to make a cutoff jig for my skill saw. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to brad this down like a fence. Then I'm going to run the saw on here with the blade down, and that'll cut off the scrap. And then I'm going to put another block, probably a 2x2, on the bottom at a 90-degree angle to this, about yay long. And then I can just put that right up that square edge, that 2x2 on the edge of the wood I want to cut, and run my saw across, and I'll get a nice square cut, and I won't have to do a bunch of measuring, because where I cut this off is going to be where the cut is, so I just need to make the mark on the wood, line the edge of this up with that mark, and zing it off. So I got my brad nailer out. We're going to shoot. I'm hoping this is straight. It's pretty straight enough.
Let me see if I
I'm going to have to do a lot of cutting on some 2-foot wide long pieces, so I want to make sure that they get secured and cut square. Alright. Of course, the hose is going to knock everything off the table. I'm using 5/8 brads. Not quite enough to go through perfect. And I'm just eyeballing this because this doesn't have to be square for any reason. Alright. I gotta let that dry up for a while. And then I'll run my saw across it. And then we'll put the T on here. See, this, it'll be on the back like this. And it won't be quite that long. But I want it to be long enough to make a difference. I want it to stick out that way farther, so I can just fold it and run my saw right across this. We'll wait till this dries up. Let's work on the dado blades. Alright guys, we're back on the square cutoff jig that I was making. We started yesterday. Now, the plan is to do something like this. I don't know that this is square, so what I need to do is I need to drive some short screws in here. So I can pivot it, and made it up to the regular T-square, somehow like this. That ain't gonna work. If I cut that off I could, and that would stick up like so, and that would be on like that. Duh. I can mate it up with here and here. And I just need to drive some screws in here, and I'll have my square. We want to have this as long as possible. And this is going to stick out so I can cut 2-foot sheets, right? Let's see how long this is. 2 foot. Perfect! Yeah, because this is just for building my cabinets and cutting anything less. Now, as you say, if you don't remember the... I don't know why I didn't cut this off here, because I don't need to clamp this. I could cut this off here, and then just square up against this. But that gives me more screwing ability. I think I'm gonna run the saw across this first. So to make this jig accurate to a few thousandths in width, we don't need the blade that deep. I like the way the blade on this adjusts, by the way. That knob right there. I have a plug right here in the ceiling, which is handy. Alright, now I do have glasses on. So run this right off, and we're just going to follow this fence. Alright, so that's going to be our cut line whenever we cut a panel. And I'm going to cut that off. I'm just going to hit that with actually I'm just going to cut it with my hand saw. Yes, I do use hand tools occasionally. Just want to get it out of my way so when I don't cut your finger, you can cut your finger with your hand saw if you're not careful. So I don't know that this is square, so I can't go by that. But I know that this wood is a uniform width, so if I square to this side will be square. So, the seamstress said, I probably should put some glue under this. I want this to stick out this way. We'll probably end up cutting off this part with the saw when we do cutting it, so that's why we're just going to have this L thing left. This you want out here, I think, a little bit. The tail out there a little bit, so when the saw's coming in, it helps you line it up. So let's see, I only need 1-inch screws. You can find some 1-inch screws. Right in short, I put some glue under this. I'm going to have to use screws that are too long and grind them off. Or break them off, because they're not really going to be going into anything. So I'm going to start my first one. In there. Okay. And of course everything's underneath everything. Just pull that up square. And maybe I should shoot some brads in there. Yeah. That's hitting the front, so that doesn't really give me much confidence. That's pretty nice though. Let's put a screw right here. Who put the bump in the bump, shabomp, shabomp? Yeah. Who put the ram in the ramble, ding dong? We will experiment. Experiment. But there's your basic straight cutoff jig for your skill saw. This is square to this. Got plenty of glue on there. I gotta get that wiped off so I don't contaminate my project with it. Because I don't want to get this on whatever I'm going to try to stain. Let this dry for just a few minutes, but then in a few minutes we're going to try it. Boy, that just barely came out the bottom. I'll take the old flat wheel grinder to it and take them right off. But that's it, basically. We'll give it a try over here on something. This would be my pencil mark for length. I don't have to deduct or add anything for that. All right. See, I told you I'd done cutting that off. Now is the test. How did we do? It's off by a 1/16 of an inch, so I don't like that. I need to loosen these screws up and knock this a little that way. All right, I just took those screws out and I knocked this just a little bit. That's what calibration is all about. Let's see how she looks now. I think that's got it now. Okay, we're going to cut one more piece. Just a little saw at the saw at the end of that. But that is now perfect. Just absolutely perfect. All right, so we'll put some more screws in that baby and finish that up. But that's the way you do it. Glue underneath it. That's going to settle up. We won't need to do anything with the screws actually. Okay, guys, back to building carcasses here. I just wanted to get this jig ready for the cutoff that I was going to need to do. Alrighty.